Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to my review of episode 11 of Doom Patrol called Francis Patrol. Okay, this episode was very good, another very good episode. Again, this show is just amazing with the writing and stuff. And our heroes are kind of split into three different sections. One story deals with Negative Man, aka Larry Trainer. One story deals with Cliff and Rita uh, going to visit his daughter upon the death of his friend, his buddy who was screwing his wife. And then the other story was Crazy Jane and Cyborg going to find this woman that the street Danny gave him a clue that that person actually would help them, track down the chief. Also, you had a little subplot going on with Cyborg worrying about his armor and stuff. Uh, Going haywire after a couple episodes back where he got his power turned off when his parts went kind of loco, and then Cliff actually rebooted him, and then so now he's worried about that happening, and you see several instances of it in this episode. But anyway, I'll start with Lavi first. Okay, we know he was a closeted man, Air Force officer back in the day, and in the 40s, I believe it was. He's in the 40s. And anyway, he had his buddy mechanic who helped him fix his planes was the one who they were lovers in secret, even though so he was a closeted person. And in this episode, the negative force inside of him kind of puts him in the middle of a dream where he's with his friend again, his his lover, and he actually gets pulled out of there, and then he wants to go back. And basically, the gist of this little journey through, that the negative force inside of him is actually getting him to, to kind of face up to, their real relationship and how he was always closeted and scared, and he also got to say goodbye to his lover in the present time, which was a nice little way to put his thing in a bow. That Larry actually got to say goodbye, meet his friend after all these years, and basically reconnect with him before he died. Now, the second subplot was Cliff upon the death of his friend. I forgot the guy's name was Bumper, who was his mechanic who was actually sleeping with his wife, but Cliff was always screwing everything left and right. And anyway, upon the supposed death of him and his wife, his daughter was adopted by his mechanic friend, Bumper. And he finds out that Bumper passed away, so he goes down there. He wants to go down there to visit him and actually visit his daughter. He wants to see Clara, his daughter. He wants to reconnect with her. And he's kind of, wanting to go, but he kind of pleads with her, Crazy Jane, and one of her personalities zaps him back down there with with Rita in tow. And then she zaps back and comes back. But the gist of this is that he sees her and he sees that she's happy that she actually had a good life. Okay, that the friend did right by him by raising his daughter right and know that she was loved. And I think they say the reason the episode's called it's Francis Patrol. I think that's what it's called, Francis Patrol, is because the the alligator who ate his friend was named Francis. I think that was the name of the alligator, and so I guess that's why they named it Francis Patrol. And his whole thing was that he had that favorite watch that Cliff actually won in a race and gave to his daughter, and his friend Boomer had it on him when he got eaten chasing down this alligator. So Cliff has decided that he's going to go into this thing and hunt this thing down to get it back. Okay, and Rita goes along with him for moral support, and she kind of gets dragged in by Crazy Jane anyway. But the gist of their visit is that he wants to confront his daughter and tell her that that he's still alive and stuff, but he sees that she's loved, and so he gets depressed again and all weirded out about it again. Even though Rita's by his side and she's trying to encourage him to say, she actually encourages him to say goodbye, to go to his daughter and say goodbye. And he finally comes to terms with it, that she was loved. But then And so that visit was more, I guess, he never really got to see her, but he actually came to that realization on his own after frantically searching for the alligator that ate his friend, and he actually find him, and he actually leaves the watch with his daughter and takes off. So, which I think will help resolve that, the guilt he felt for not being there for his daughter. But he finds out that his friend actually did take care of her, and she was loved. So, he could walk away without revealing himself to her. Okay, which I thought was a really touching moment. And and last but not least, of course, the Cyborg. He has this whole subplot, like I said before. He was when he got powered down when his power was going wacky, and now he's worried about his systems, taking over his parts. Basically, that's what he's worried about. But at the same time, Crazy Jane wants to go find the chief, and she wants to use that clue that Larry and Victor got when they visit Danny Street. So they're going to visit, the wife of the man, the street Danny told them to go visit. And while they're visiting that, there's a big commotion, and actually Cyborg gets captured. Okay, in the midst of that, and we find out later that he's at the ant farm, which is, I think, run by the Bureau of Normalcy. Okay, which we saw a couple episodes back with Danny Street. They were trying to capture that street, so it looks like they captured Vic. Okay, and I assume next week's episode will be all about them trying to rescue Vic from the Bureau of Normalcy, or the ant farm, which they call it. Okay, so overall, this was a good episode. Like I said, we got more contacts with Larry and his whole backstory. He got to say goodbye to his friend, which was a really nice reunion. And then, of course, we have Cliff actually, wanting to connect with his daughter, and then actually finding out that she was loved by his friends, so he could actually walk away once he could actually walk away without revealing himself, now that that his daughter was actually really loved. Okay, and then of course we have the whole Cyborg getting kidnapped in the third start when he tries to team up with Crazy Jane to go hunt down the chief, try to hunt down a lead on the chief. Anyway, like I said, this show, the writing is just so good and the acting is fantastic. So I absolutely love this. This is a good episode, Patches Patrol. Again, this is another good. It shows that this show has really good dialogue and really good writing to it, and of course, really good acting as well. And it's really just, again, one of the best DC show on the channel, which is not saying much. I don't know, they got Titans and Young Justice, but I think Doom Patrol is the best written one they have so far. So anyway, let me know what you think of episode 11 of Patches Patrol. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. Let me know what you think of it. Of the episode. I also have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram in the description box, as well as a link to my other channel, Full of Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.